That's right, a very, very good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to finals number 2. And yeah, we've got some awesome action lined up in store for you tonight. We are getting ready to get underway with finals for round 2 of the SMRC eSports Racing Spring Championship. Starting off tonight then is going to be the PS4. We'll have a look here. 6 PM then, PS4 finals. We've got 7 PM is going to be the Xbox One finals. And then at 8 o'clock tonight we have got the PC finals. As qualifying is about to start for the PlayStation 4. This is who we are going to look forward to seeing tonight. We've got Finlay Brunton in there. We've got Stuart Robertson, Malcolm McNabb, Michael Waddell, Elliot Lethwaite, Darryl Adams, Chris Bazook, Barry Holmes. We've got Blair Murdoch. We have got Joe Tanner, Chris Leonard, Kevin Rutherford, Matthew Collins and Martin Buchan. We do not have Ryan Smith in qualifying just now. We've sent him several invites, but Ryan Smith is nowhere to be seen tonight. There we go then. Excellent stuff. So let's head over to the track then. And tonight is going to look like this. We're going to have a qualifying session for 5 minutes. We're then going to have a 6-lap race, and then we're going to have another qualifying session, and then another 6-lap race. It's been a fairly busy week here for the SMRC eSports Racing Spring Championship. It's been a week of thrills and spills, and the PlayStation 4 lot have had their fair share of rough and tumble here at the Oulton Park International Circuit. It's been a very, very difficult track, a very tricky track for these little Renault Clio Cup cars to contend with. Now, unlike during the week, we don't have a lot of time for qualifying, so we are pretty much straight into the action. But let's remind you of what actually happened through the week then. Heat number 1 was won by Finlay Brunton, second place was Stuart Robertson, and third place was Malcolm McNabb. And then Heat 2, it was Michael Weddle who won that one. Heat 3 was Chris Bazook who won Heat 3. Heat 4 was Speedy Joe Tanner, would you believe it? And then it was Matthew Collins who won Heat 5 as well. But 15 cars taking part, or scheduled to be taking part in this final round. As we said, we'll try and get Ryan Smith in this heat if in this final race if we possibly can, but we've sent him several invites already. So that's us pretty much good to go then. All we have to do now is just kill the music in the background and yeah, enjoy what is about to happen out on track. I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty excited. I've been waiting pretty much all week for the finals here at Oulton Park. And of course, a very, very tricky circuit, as I mentioned before, for these bundles of joy. The little Clio Cup cars are mighty, mighty fast. It's going to be very interesting to see if they can set some very fast times. I don't think they're going to be able to set the 147s, the 148s that they were able to do during the week, because they had 10 minutes in which to fire those laps in, and they're not going to have that luxury for the 2 races here. And we're watching, that is Matthew Collins we're actually on board with just now, MCR Venom, who found himself on the naughty step this week after a qualifying incident, but then made up for it with a stunning performance in heat number 5. Certainly made up for those misgivings earlier on. Up at the top of the screen there, you've got Chris Leonard, and we're just waiting for the first couple of cars actually to make it through and actually get a lap in, and then we can get some representative lap times, because for all of these cars now, this is going to be the only lap that they will get in as a banker lap. The next lap that they embark on, it's sort of now or never for them. We've got Winchester 202. That is Kevin Rutherford. Kevin was another one who was very, very impressive midweek there. But it's all, for me, I'm looking straight at that man there. Front row Joe 24, Joe Tanner. No stranger to the circuit at Knockhill, and no stranger behind the wheel either. We've got our first time in, and it is that man, front row Joe, 1:49.858. That's a decent time for your first hot lap coming in, and we can see with the rest of the times coming in, I tell you what, I've been made to eat my words already, because have a look at that. Martin Buchan is straight in there with a 1:48.901. He's still got a lap to go. I didn't think that was going to be happening, let alone at all during qualifying. I thought we were going to see maybe low 1:49s, but a 1:48.901 from Martin Buchan, as we've got 23 seconds left to go in this first qualifying session. Now, if you do want to get signed up to this, head over to smrc.co.uk next week. On Tuesday, we will be opening up for the final rounds. It's been such a massively popular series, and we're just blown away by how everyone's been supportive and how everyone has enjoyed taking part in this. So as always, if you want to take part, head over to smrc.co.uk. You can get signed up for the final round, which is in 2 weeks' time at Spa. Next week at Brands Hatch Indy is full up, and it'll be a fantastic treat with the Ginettas. These are the G55 GT4s, if I'm right in saying. I may have that wrong. I'll go and double check before we come back on air. But at the moment is Mark Buchan, then 1:48.901 from Michael Waddell, 1:49.659. So that's 7/10 of a second of a lap he's got there. Front row Joe just coming across the line. What can Joe Tanner do? Can he improve on his time? He does, but only slightly. He's now 1:49.640. So Joe Tanner goes up into second place. Elliot Lethwaite there diving up into second, but still no answers for Martin Buchan. Qualifying is now marked as complete. So we are just watching the final laps coming in here, and I don't know if anybody has got anything for Martin Buchan, as we see Michael Waddell jumping back up into second place there. And yeah, I don't think anyone's got anything for Martin Buchan. I think that is going to be your pole sitter for race number 1 then. And there we go, qualifying session is over for your first race of the evening. Round 2 finals on the PlayStation 4. It is Martin Buchan from Michael Waddell and Elliot Lethwaite. Joe Tanner in 4th place, and then in 5th place is Kevin Rutherford. Without further ado then, let's go. We have got 14 cars for your first final, and the cars syncing up with the server. We're good to go then. The lights coming on here at Oulton. And it's a great start from, who was that? In 7th place with an absolutely lightning start there. I think that might have been the person that's just caused that 3-car pile-up there. That was that Blair McConaughey? Sorry, Blair Murdoch? That is not what you want to see at the start of a race. Never mind, back with your race leader Martin Buchan. We will be saving these replays and giving them a little bit of judicious oversight. I think that's something we're going to have to do. Look at Michael Waddell though, as they come round Island Bend for the first time of asking, and they're come down into Shell Oil Corner now, and it is nose to tail then for first and second place. Elliot Lethwaite in 3rd as well, and that is Finlay Brunton in 4th place with Wee Dance 34. That's Darrell Adams down in 5th. But your race leader is still Martin Buchan, and that is Elliot Lethwaite going very, very wide at Britain's, getting it all wrong, and he's going to go down into 5th place there. Back up with your race leader, and it is still Martin Buchan with a hair of a lead from Michael Waddell here. 6 laps in this first race tonight. And an enthralling start to the evening. Let's have a look further down the order then, and in 4th place it is Darrell Darryl Adams from Elliot Lethwaite after that earlier mistake there. Malcolm McNabb finished with his chicken preparation. We saw that posted on social media earlier on tonight, and I think that was a glass of vino that he had in preparation. And he's sitting down in 7th at the moment. So Malcolm McNabb, oh, and a huge instance, somebody going firing off into the pit lane there. Who on earth was that? And that, I fear, may have been Blair Murdoch. No, it wasn't. So who went into pit lane there? And they've retired anyway. So that was a huge moment there. We'll maybe have to have a little look at that in the post replay. Meanwhile, back with your race leaders. And a bit of a gap there for Michael Buchan from Michael Waddell. Excuse me, Martin Buchan there, sorry. Too many Michaels. And just watching this battle further down, Darryl Adams with Elliot Lethwaite trying to get that 4th place back. They're coming down into Britain's. This is where it all went wrong for Elliot Lethwaite last time round. He manages to tell the tale that time round, but still very much compromised, and that means that Stu Rob 29, Stuart Robertson, can't take advantage of that and catch up to the back of him. Finlay Brunton though with a slow down penalty, and that puts him into the grasp of Darryl Adams. So that 3rd place is opening up, and it's now going to be, I think there's going to be about 4 cars we've got for that place. Look at this though, that is Chris Leonard fighting it out with Kevin Rutherford for 7th place. So there's battles all throughout the field right now in this first final race of the night here. And a very good evening if you are watching on Facebook Live or on YouTube. Give us a little message and we'll read the best ones out throughout the evening. Your battle for the lead then is stretched out, I think, quite a bit. 1.5 seconds. That is a slow down penalty. That could easily bring that back in. But your battle for 3rd place is hotting up very nicely indeed. Finlay Brunton from Darryl Adams. And just behind him is Elliot Lethwaite, who has taken that place. Oh, and there's a big moment there coming out of Cascades for Stuart Robertson. Contact on the back of Elliot Lethwaite, and it just wasn't to be. And forgive me, I thought Elliot Lethwaite had actually made a place up. In fact, it wasn't. It was Darryl Adams that he fell behind at Britain's on lap 1. As we can see, Darryl Adams going very wide on the exit of Shell Oil's corner. They're coming up to Britain's 4, lap 3 out of 6. And again, this is now starting to close right back up because Martin Buchan has had a slow down penalty. That gap now 0.5 second smaller than it was the last time that we looked around. So the gaps all through the field really ebbing and flowing quite nicely. Stuart Robb is now in front of Elliot Lethwaite there. And I've no idea how that happened because Elliot Lethwaite obviously had a little bit of contact from behind. You can see the damage on the front bumper of Stuart Robertson there, and Elliot Lethwaite now still down into 5th place there, and that is because Darryl Adams is now down into 6th place. You can see that heavy contact on the front right there, and I would suspect, not being the detective that I am, I think he's come a cropper into Britain's there, has Darryl Adams. Very easy to do. That gap now down to just 0.7 of a second for your race leader. Martin Buchan comes across the line. That is going to be starting lap number 4 out of 6 here at the virtual recreation of Oulton Park here in Project Cars 2. Michael Waddell, a very solid drive right now. Both cars on the pace, but in fact Michael Waddell 0.5 second faster that last time round. We did say that when we were watching him. Back with the battle for 4th place, Stuart Robertson is just ahead of Elliot Lethwaite, and they get it correct this time at Cascades, and it in fact is a very fast exit from Cascades for Stu Robertson and making that look very easy. Let's have a look further down the field as well, because we haven't really paid much attention to the battle all the way down here. So down in 7th place is Chris Leonard, who is desperately fighting off the advances of that's Kevin Rutherford there as they come into Shell Oil's corner, and Kevin Rutherford getting a fantastic line out there, went all the way around the outside, got a much better exit there, and they're going to come side by side into Britain's. This is never going to work. Kevin Rutherford thinks better of it, gets a much better line into the complex at Britain's there, and the three of them are duking it out, because at the back there as well is Malcolm McNabb. Your race for the lead though has evened up very nicely, because Martin Buchan is away 1.7 seconds. He was 0.7 of a second ahead of Michael Waddell, but he is absolutely away with it right now, as we see Chris Leonard still desperately trying to hold off. That is Matthew Collins there. Now, where's Matthew Collins come from? Because it was Malcolm McNabb that was up in that 8th and 9th place there, as we saw Kevin Rutherford. Now, what has happened to Kevin Rutherford? He's dropped all the way back to the back of the field. So has he had some sort of issue there? Has he had some sort of contact? It would look very, very likely. So terrible, terrible luck there on lap 4 out of 6 for Kevin Rutherford, almost completely putting him out of contention. Back with their race leader, because Martin Buchan is on his penultimate lap of the race. He's looking very comfortable coming round Island Bend here. 1.8 seconds ahead of Michael Waddell here. Remember, it is not for qualification points now. It is just for straight out championship points here. And we will sort them out as soon as we possibly can. Finlay Brunton still in a comfortable 3rd place, but I wonder for how much longer, because he is getting chased down by Stuart Robertson and Elliot Lethwaite. They are in 4th and 5th place consecutively, and they wouldn't mind getting a little spot on that podium either. They too are the only ones that are going to be any real threat right now, as it stands, to Finlay Brunton, because it's another 4 seconds back to Darrell Adams and then Chris Leonard in 7th place. A lot of red marks on the drivers' names. That means that they have got some sort of penalty to be served, whether that is a slowdown penalty or whether that is a time penalty to be added on to the end. As we see Matthew Collins trying to hold on from Chris Bazook. Again, it just shows you how much of a battle there is all the way down the field here. This is a battle for 8th place, and they're fighting it out as if it was for the final spot on the podium. Talking of the final spot on the podium, big pressure for Finlay Brunton as that around the outside. Did that work from Stuart Robertson? Incredible stuff. Right, final lap then. Lap 6 out of 6. And they are side by side, Stuart Robertson and Finlay Brunton. Finlay Brunton's got the inside line for turn number 1, Old Hall Corner. But it's an excellent exit there from Stuart Robertson. Oh my goodness me, they're going to be going side by side into Cascades. And Stuart Robertson loses it. He keeps the foot in. How on earth did he make that stick? Completely sideways on the entrance to Cascades. That is probably one of the most flamboyant overtaking moves I think I've ever seen. Wow. Right, you can guarantee that Finlay Brunton is not going to let that one lie, but he's going to have to watch, because he's now got Elliot Lethwaite on his tail as well. Stuart Robertson with Finlay Brunton and Elliot Lethwaite, this cracking battle for 3rd place right now. Meanwhile, your leader is coming down in towards Hislops, and it's just over a second now. That gap has come down to Michael Waddell in 2nd place, and I don't feel comfortable anymore. This could go any way, because all it takes is 2 wheels on the grass, and these Clios will send it absolutely skywards. Back with the battle for 3rd place. We'll keep an eye on your leaders right now, but this is the battle for 3rd place. Stuart Robb currently leading from Finlay Brunton, and then Elliot Lethwaite down in 5th place as well. Back with your leaders. They've come round Druids Corner here. And there we go, Martin Buchan then comes across the line to win race 1 of the finals for the PlayStation 4 round 2 then, and it's a great win for Martin Buchan. Michael Waddell in 2nd place, and it looks like it could be Stuart Robb. However, he does have a time penalty. Let's see what happens. He does. He drops all the way down, so 3rd place actually goes then to Finlay Brunton. Finlay Brunton completes the podium. Elliot Lethwaite in 4th place is going to be Stuart Robb, and Stuart Robertson in 5th place is going to be Darrell Adams in 6th potentially. Again, I think he's got a time penalty as well. He stays where he is though. And then in 7th place it's going to be Chris Leonard. Wow, what a first race that we've had there. So we'll take a little note of the points there and work them all out. But a fantastic, fantastic race one there. We'll go straight into qualifying number 2 and we'll take a very, very short break. cars making their way back out on track then for the second qualifying session of the day. And a fantastic win there for Martin Buchan from Michael Waddell, Finlay Brunton in third place, Elliot Lethwaite in fourth, Stuart Robertson in fifth, Darrell Adams in sixth, Chris Leonard in seventh, Matthew Collings in eighth place, Malcolm McNabb in ninth, Chris Bazook in 10th, Barry Holmes in 11th, Blair Murdoch in 12th, and then Kevin Rutherford in 13th place. Wow, what a race one. What a race one indeed. So we'll leave you with qualifying on the go just now, and when we come back we will be ready for race number 2. Right, let's give some shout outs then. A very good evening to Paul Phillips, to Gordon Haston, to Tamsin Green, to Kenny Dock, to Chris Milford, speedy Chris Milford, as we saw somebody going very, very, very fast off at the end of Druids. To Jen Martin, to David Taylor Piggott, and everyone else who's watching on Facebook. Steve Burns as well is watching with sharp eye and bated breath, and God help you if you cross him tonight. Obviously, driving standards are the attention, the thing that we're turning to this week after a very, very interesting Tuesday night with the PlayStation 4 competitors. Warnings were sent. We had people that were excluded from next week's event. So yeah, I think the message was well and truly received, because the Xbox One and the PC players were a little bit more gentle, shall we say. Anyway, qualifying is done, so let's have a look without further ado and have a look at your qualification then. And it is indeed that boy again, Dandy Dons, who is up at the top there. Martin Buchan from pole position from Speedy Joe Tanner, and then Michael Waddell, Elliot Lethwaite in 4th, Finlay Brunton in 5th, and Kevin Rutherford in 6th place there. Daryl Adams in 7th. Let's get going for your final race for the PlayStation. This is the round 2 final, race number 2 for the PlayStation 4. 14 cars. We do it again here at Oulton Park. Let's see what happens. Can Martin Buchan make it 2 out of 2? He gets a slower start than last time, moves across to defend the inside line for Old Hall Corner, and at least this time, all the cars are away, and a beautiful move from Joe Tanner. Old Hall Corner, Joe Tanner, would you Adam and Eve it, makes it into turn 1, and they're not even into Cascade yet. We've got cars off at the back there, and it is all kicking off there. Your leader though is still up there nice and safe. That is Matthew Collins, who has come a cropper with Malcolm McNabb and Chris Pazook. The three of those are involved in heavy contact there. But meanwhile, back to the race leader, and we've almost got 6 cars battling for the lead there. We've got Michael Weddle and Martin Buchan as Elliot Lethwaite sneaks up the inside of the Shell Oil Corner as well. This is going to end in tears, mark my words. 4 cars are not going to reach into Britons like this, and they all go into single file. Wow, I was almost lost for words there. That was excellent racing. Why couldn't we have had this all week on the PlayStation 4? This is what it's all about. Elliot Lethwaite side by side, a little bit of door banging going on as he's fighting with Martin Buchan for that 3rd place, and that is going to push him out wide and lose the place yet again to Daryl Adams, who sneaks up into 4th. Wow, what an opening lap here we've got in race 2. They were certainly holding it all for the final race of their evening anyway, and this is only race 2 for us. So it's Joe Tanner then, still from Michael Weddle, and then in 3rd place. Oh, there's contact, a swipe there from Joe Tanner. Some very, very naughty driving there, and I'm sure we'll be having a little look at that one later on. And this is starting to get a little bit scrappy, because there goes Martin Buchan showing the door, and that allows Daryl Adams up into 3rd place as well, and Elliot Lethwaite could get up into 4th place as well. Some very robust, and I'm going to use that word very, very loosely, some robust driving. Wow. And this is always the danger that we faced with this. It doesn't matter what platform we choose, whether it's Project Cars 2, whether it's Assetto Corsa, whether it's iRacing or that. You get proper racers, you get real life race drivers, and they are going to treat it like a real life racing car, and that is exactly what Joe Tanner and Michael Waddell are doing. They are hanging it out with absolutely nothing to spare right now. Look at that lunge from Michael Waddell, and he thinks better of it. Joe Tanner just escaping barely with the lead on lap 2 out of 6. This is brilliant action here from virtual Oulton Park. Daryl Adams still in 3rd place from 4th place of Elliot Lethwaite, and then Martin Buchan is shoved all the way down into 5th place, but he's still looking very, very menacing. 5th place is only a 1.5 seconds behind your race leader. Try to speak that fast that I'm struggling to breathe here. This is fascinating how this is all unfolding. And look at Michael Weddle. He's tucked well and truly into the slipstream of that little French fancy. He's down behind Joe Turner. There's contact again! Oh my goodness me, how did they survive? It's still, as you were, it's still the top 5 then, but that does put Michael Weddle into the danger zone from Darrell Adams, who sneaks up into 3rd place now as we see Martin Buchan up into 4th. He's going to try and take that podium place again. Absolute disaster there for Martin Buchan. Apologies about the mic issue there. I may have got so excited that I accidentally unplugged the microphone yet again. Wow, oh wow, oh wow, oh wow. Thank you very much, David Taylor Piggott, for messaging me and letting me know there was no microphone there. Right, let's catch up to speed then. Lap 3 out of 6 and your race leader is coming down Deer Leap to complete and start lap number 4. It's still Joe Tanner from Michael Waddell. From 3rd place is Darrell Adams. Then in 4th place, Elliot Lethwaite. And in 5th place, it is Kevin Rutherford. As we see Martin Buchan, your last race winner, is all the way down in 6th place, and he is now under pressure from Stu Robertson and Chris Leonard as well. 6th, 7th and 8th here, but it is all about this leading 5 cars now, and we've split into 2 groups, 3 groups almost, because Darrell Adams is on his own. He's trying to catch that front group of Joe Tanner and Michael Waddell. He's broken away from Elliot Lethwaite and from Kevin Rutherford as well. We've just got 2 laps left to go, and my goodness me, do I wish we had 10 laps left to go. This is stellar sim racing going on right now, and I think we're now just starting to get a little bit of a breather here. And I do wonder about Michael Waddell in 3rd place, 2nd place there, because he's just playing it cool. He's playing it casual. He's had umpteen chances to make a move on Joe Tanner. Is this going to be it? They're coming down into his lops on the brakes. And Michael Waddell just letting him know that he's there. Forces Joe Tanner off wide to come around Knickerbrook. And again, this is bunching up all the cars now. 4 out of the 5 cars are within 1.5 seconds. Oh my goodness me, this is setting up to be an absolute stormer for the last couple of laps. Joe Tanner on the way around Druids. No way! That has never just happened! There's contact again! And side by side as Michael Waddell forces his way around the outside of Druids. I have never seen anything like that in my life. And there we go, Darrell Adams up the inside! Where did he come from? And that is Joe Tanner off into the grass. And that is potentially Joe Tanner down into 4th place there. Well, I think the stewards are going to be having a look at that one afterwards. Joe Tanner with Elliot Lethwaite up the inside there. This is cracking stuff here. Penultimate lap of race number 2 for the PlayStation 4 final. This is only round 2 of 4. Next week we go to Brands Hatch. Joe Tanner up the inside of Cascades. Stunning move. That is how you do it. Maybe without the rallycross, but joins back in. Joe Tanner rejoins the fight, and Elliot Lethwaite still in front of Kevin Rutherford. In fact, Kevin Rutherford just picking that place up. And Darrell Adams now starting to hunt down Michael Waddell. Oh my me, this is not over by a long shot. Joe Tanner is after blood right now. And from all of the action I've seen up front, 99% of it has been very, very above board. Just the odd door handle to door handle bit here and there, and Elliot Lethwaite makes a meal of it at Britain's and drops down another place, potentially two there, because there's Stu Robertson trying to go around the outside. I think he's got the pace to go around the outside. He does. He's made the move before they even get into Hislops. But here's Michael Waddell just half a second in front of that is Darrell Adams. What has happened to Joe Tanner now? He's a second and a half back. Does Joe Tanner have anything left in the tank for Michael Waddell, who is now coming under pressure from yet another driver, Darrell Adams, as they come round Druids? And yeah, I've got to admit right now, guys and girls, my heart is absolutely racing. I don't know what about you. Let us know in chat. Let us know if you're enjoying this final race for PlayStation 4 tonight. Across the line then goes Michael Waddell to start the final lap here for race number 2, followed by Darrell Adams, and then in third place it is, in fact, what has happened to Front Row Joe? Joe Tanner has fallen off the edge of a cliff. Joe Tanner is now no longer in the server. So Joe Tanner has retired from the race. Well, that is huge drama on the final lap, because he was making it look so good there. So we concentrate on your top 3, and it looks like it's going to be fairly safe for Kevin Rutherford down in third place, because he's got Martin Buchan, your former race winner in that one, just 2 seconds behind him. But look at this gap is coming down between Michael Waddell and between Darrell Adams. It's now 0.8 of a second. There's only 4 or 5 more corners left to go in this final lap of the final race for the PlayStation 4. Can Michael Waddell hold on to it? It's been a cracking drive from Kevin Rutherford as well to hold on to that third place. But they're going to come round Knickerbrook and then round Druids for the final time. It's going to be now or never for Darrell Adams. I think he's too far back. Let's see as Michael Waddell goes under the bridge then and down towards Lodge Corner for the final time. The gap has gone up. Michael Waddell, surely having done enough. Puff of smoke from the tyres, brings the car round. It's going to be a win for Michael Waddell. Second place is going to go to Darrell Adams. Third place is going to go to Kevin Rutherford. Now hang on, because Darrell Adams has got a penalty, has he? Comes across the line. In fact, he just holds on to that one. So it is 1, 2, 3. Michael Waddell, then Darrell Adams, and then it is Kevin Rutherford in third place. Stuart Robertson finishes in fourth place. Martin Buchan adds insult to injury. Fifth place for him. Sixth place for Elliot Lethwaite. Seventh place for Chris Leonard. Eighth place there for Matthew Collings. Ninth place for Finlay Brunton. Terrible race that time round for Finlay Brunton. It is going to be Minimad in 10th place. I think that was Barry Holmes in 10th place. But yeah, wow. What can you say to that, ladies and gentlemen, apart from wow? We're going to take a break there. We see confirmation that Joe Tanner was actually disqualified. So I've got no idea what has happened to Joe Tanner, possibly not serving a drive-through penalty. We'll find out all about that very, very shortly. We are going to take a very quick break, and when we come back, it'll be time to move on to the Xbox One for race 1 of the round 2 finals. We'll be right back. Confirmation then of your standings, Michael Waddell, and these are, should stress, these are provisional. I could have made a mistake with the calculations, but Michael Waddell leaving this week with 45 points, Martin Buchan with 37, Darrell Adams with 30, Stuart Robertson with 26, Elliot Lethwaite with 24, Finlay Brunton with 23, Kevin Rutherford with 19, Chris Leonard with 18, Matthew Collins with 16, Barry Holmes with 11, Malcolm McNabb with 10. There are others below on the list, and this is only from this week. We will announce it on Facebook tonight what the total overall points are. We'll get them up very, very shortly. We're going to take a very quick pause while we get the Xbox One racing sorted out, and when we return we will have qualifying session starting for the Xbox as well. Hope you're enjoying tonight so far, guys. As always, head over to smrc.co.uk, get yourself signed up for the final race, which is in 2 weeks' time at Spa. We're going to be racing in the Porsches, and we've got some very, very special announcements to make for next week's race at Brands Hatch, and also that final race as well.
Baby, I'm calling out, save me, I'm going down. Take me to another town where I can rest my bones, I can rest my bones safely. Even when I'm together, I'm miles apart. Feel I'm running forever, get back to the start. I don't know if I'm broken or if I am just not trying. But we're feeling alive even when we are slowly dying. Shine a mirror on me. See my reflection, who am I really supposed to see? Maybe just not trying. But we're feeling alive even when we are slowly dying. Shine a mirror on me. See my reflection, who am I really supposed to see?
Sorry about the delay, guys and girls. We will be with you as soon as we possibly can. We're having a few technical teething problems with the Xbox One, so I think we're going to switch it off and switch it on again and see if that works. Because I don't know, short of throwing it out the window. But we'll get the teething issues sorted. We'll make sure that we get a good, fair race for everyone. And then when we've got everyone good to go, we will make sure we get things underway. So give us another couple of minutes and we'll get qualifying underway for Xbox One. Don't you just love technical issues? Well, the good news is that the technical issues should be, for the most part, solved. And we have got qualifying on the go. Now, for some unbeknownst reason to me, the cars are looking a little bit jittery. We saw this last week during the finals as well, so we will just have to make do with it. We'll let them do some qualifying. We'll show you who to expect in this next round, and in the meantime we'll get the cars out on track. Time's already starting to come in then for the Xbox drivers, and I will apologise in advance for the visual quality of the stream just now. I can see that the stream is starting to judder a little bit. Unfortunately, that is with the Xbox. I've got no idea what that is, but we'll have a look into that in between races. We'll put up with it and make do with it for just now, because we are mighty close for getting our Xbox One Race 1 out of the way just now, and we're already starting to see some times coming in. As we see, that is William Black straight up there, 147.984. That is a blistering pace there from William Black there, winning his heat earlier on in the week, followed by JP Atkinson. That is Jonathan Atkinson, and then it is Fred Parry, Christian Parry down in third place, going very wrong at Hislops there. We've got Tam Hamill is another regular of the SMRC competition there, doing very well at Knockhill last week, and hoping to repeat that this week in the final here. Currently 5th place, but he is going to go across the line for one final lap. And I tell you what, these are much, much faster times. So thank you very much for all the messages coming in. Again, it's absolutely fine. We'll just make the best of what we have here. But race number 3 of the night, race 1 for the Microsoft Xbox One finals of round 2 are just moments away. And let's have a look at what is going to happen here. Looks like it is a new pole sitter. Oh no, it's not, because William Black has taken it back there from Aidan Wilson. Good to see Aidan back up in the mix at the top of the timing screens there. So it is, let's have a look there, William Black from Aidan Wilson, from Jonathan Atkinson, and then Tam Hamill in 4th place, with that is Dylan O'Donnell in 5th. Right, after all that hassle, after all that skadoodle, I've got no idea what that means, by the way, I just made that up. Do you like that? Right, we are ready to go racing here at Oulton. And away we go then, and it's a poor start for 4th place on the grid. I think that was Tam Hamill who got a poor start, but away we go down into turn 1 then, and it is still William Black then that leads the field around. As we see Jonathan Atkinson holding on to the back of the field there as well, as the cars all making their way just about down in towards Cascades for the first time of asking. 6 laps here at Oulton Park, and Jamie Atkinson is fighting off Chris Parry right now as we come up to Island Bend, almost 3-4 cars wide. It's Aidan Wilson with William Black though streaking off into the sunset, down into Shell Oil Corner for the first time of asking. They're being held quite nicely by Tam Hamill, and then Jonathan Atkinson and the rest of the gang making their way down as well. And who was that just going off there? That was a car going off into the grass there. That is Dylan O'Donnell, and he's used to seeing that from a Mini Cooper's point of view, not from a Renault Clio. But great recovery there for Dylan O'Donnell. Makes his way back onto the track there, and it is a slow down penalty there. Who was that just going flying on there? That was I think that was, surely wasn't Christian Parry. Can't have been. Right, we'll find out who that was there. In fact, that's them slowing down right there. It was was that Ruben Haig? It was Ruben Haig that went flying down the inside at Hislops, missed his braking point completely, and went off into the runoff area. So Ruben Haig not really having the best of luck so far in race number 1 for the Xbox. He's being hunted down right now by Jamie Lethwaite, who is down in 9th place. So he's chasing him down right now, but we're already on to lap number 2, and your top 3 cars split by 9/10 of a second, and it looks like Aidan Wilson is starting to come under pressure there from Tam Hamill. But look at that, Jamie Atkinson starting to, Jonathan Atkinson decided to join the party as well. Christian Parry is all on his own in 5th place there, nobody around him whatsoever. This is a cracking little battle for the lead, starting to develop right now. We've got 3 cars within 7/10 of a second. Aidan Wilson, very very fast car, gets a much nicer exit out of Shell Oil's corner there. They're going to come up to Britain's, and it is a 4-car train for the lead. And yeah, this is looking awesome. But what is also looking awesome is this battle for 7th place, as we have got STR Unknown, that's Kieran Evans, side by side with DK Wasp. That's John Glover into Britain's. That's never going to work, this contest. Oh my goodness me, it's a melee. It's an absolute free-for-all at Britain's. You saw that coming a mile off, and there's going to be big conversations about driving standards right now. King Chitty is involved in that, and John Glover as well. That was an accident that absolutely did not need to happen. One of those drivers should have taken their foot off the gas, and if only for the interest of self-preservation. STR Unknown survives that, only just though, and Kieran Evans now down into 8th place. What has happened to Joe Pillar? Because Joe Pillar was plumb last and is now up into 7th place. 2 laps in and he's gained 7 places. Cracking effort so far for Joe Puller. Back up with your leaders then, because we go across the line to start lap number 3 of race 1 for the round 2 final here at the SMRC eSports Racing Spring Championship. And it's still William Black from Aidan Wilson from, who's in third place? That is Tam Hamill. Tam's now dropped back a bit because Jonathan Atkinson is now all over him at the entrance to Cascades here. This is developing into quite the little battle right now. Let's have a look there, and oh no, that's Joe Puller. Something happened there, and let's have a look there. That was that? Trying to see, there was a car we saw off into the barrier there. And it was Stuart Haston who is having a horrid time here at Oulton Park. He was facing the wrong way at the entrance to pit lane, and he is going to have to work some to try and catch back up to that group. Joe Puller, though, doing all the work he can right now to stay ahead of, who's that behind him? That is Dirt 037, that's Owain Phillips. So what has happened to DK Wasp then? Because John Glover was up and had survived that, was up in 8th place, but now he's all the way back into 11th place there. Very, very strange. However, change for third place then. Jonathan Atkinson has managed to get past Tam Hamill, who is quite far back, but Jonathan Atkinson looking like he's got some sort of penalty, some sort of time penalty on him at the moment. It could just be a slowdown, but we'll keep an eye on that and see where he ends up just now. But your leaders are now way out in front, 2 seconds ahead in the battle for third and fourth, and then 10 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. But this is a brilliant little battle going on for 6th, 7th and 8th place. In 6th place it's Ruben Haig, 7th place is Joe Puller, 8th place is Owain Phillips. They are less than 5/10 of a second split between them right now. And they go to start lap number 4 as well here. Behind them is another nice little battle. That is Dylan O'Donnell, who is fighting off Kieran Evans, but it's also very close as they come into turn 1, Old Hall Corner, and Kieran Evans trying everything that he possibly can to get past Dylan O'Donnell, but Dylan O'Donnell is the master of making small cars as wide as they possibly can be. So I do not envy Kieran Evans at all right now. Tries to jink one way into the other. They're coming up to Island Bend. It's not going to be any threat, you would think, for Dylan O'Donnell. Back up with your leaders then, and it's still William Black from Aidan Wilson in second place, just 4/10 of a second behind your race leader, and that gap has come all the way down now. And look at Aidan Wilson, he's putting the pressure on with lap 4 out of 6. We're away to start the penultimate lap here for the Xbox, and Aidan Wilson is shaping himself up to put a move on the leader very soon, so we'll keep an eye on that. But we'll go back down to this brilliant battle for 6th place for Ruben Haig and for Joe Puller, as well as Owain Phillips in the mix as well. They're coming through Knickerbrook, and yeah, this is just setting up nicely. It's setting itself up. You just know what's going to happen before it even begins. And it is all going to kick off in the next 2 laps, because look at Joe Puller. He's got the run on Ruben Haig. What can he do? He goes wide, and that brings Owain Phillips. There's contact and a little bit of bump drafting going on there. I think they're trying to work together, potentially, to catch up to Ruben Haig there. Meanwhile, your race leader starts the penultimate lap there. William Black ahead of Aidan Wilson by 7/10 of a second now. That gap has opened up, and opened up quite substantially. Your battle for 6th place then comes into its penultimate lap as well, as Ruben Haig leads the cars round for 6th place, ahead of Joe Puller and Owain Phillips around Cascades with no problems. But look at that, Joe Puller looks to try and catch the toe. He's surely not going to try anything at Island Bend. It's never going to happen there. It may be on the entrance to Shell Oil's Corner. He gets a big tank slapper going on there. Does the little Renault Clio Cup. There's contact again, and Owain Phillips makes a move up the inside of Shell Oil's Corner. Is there going to be contact again? There is! Absolutely saw that one coming a mile off, and that is Joe Puller that didn't take his foot off the gas and forced the car into the barriers there, as Owain Phillips overcompensates, hits the barrier at Britain's, and well, that kind of all sorted itself out quite nicely, did it? I don't think we're going to have to visit driving standards for that one, but I think there is going to be some conversations being had between the two of them because they have slowed each other up immensely, and that lets Ruben Haig off the hook and move off by about a second and a half. Meanwhile, your race leader coming up to start the final lap, William Black, with Aidan Wilson still in tow. And you'll forgive my precautions, but I'm going to get a little copy of the finishing order just now as they come across the line for that final lap, because it will be declared a race result in the event of any technical issues just now. But let's hope nothing happens to spoil what's going to be an amazing finish to this race. And let's have a look here. William Black still in the lead from Aidan Wilson by just 0.2 of a second, and Jonathan Atkinson is still under huge pressure from Tam Hamill. Well, I don't know how this is all going to end, and Tam Hamill looking so dangerous right now. It's difficult to know where to look, because on one hand you've got the lead potentially about to change, and then you've got the final podium position being fought for just now, and that's gone to Jonathan Atkinson. All he has to do is hold on through his laps right now. I tell you what, Tam Hamill is not a slow driver. He knows how to throw that thing about, but it's all about your race leader right now. William Black has been made to work for this every single step of the way right now. They're going to come through down towards Druids for the final time. And then it's going to be in towards Lodge Corner. It's going to be now or never for Aidan Wilson. Does he make a last lap lunge, a last gasp effort? I don't think he is. Very, very respectful driving from those two. And it's going to be as you were, I think, for Tam Hamill and for Jonathan Atkinson. But here's your race leader going across the line, and William Black wins race number 1. Aidan Wilson in second place, and unfortunately, because of a drive-through penalty that we mentioned earlier, or a slowdown penalty or a time penalty of some sort, Jonathan Atkinson relegated from that third podium. Third place then goes to Tam Hamill, and we will wait for the rest of the cars to make their way through just now. Christian Parry finishes in a fantastic 5th place, and then it looks like it's going to be Owain Phillips potentially in 6th place, but again, he's got a slowdown penalty. He gets dumped all the way down into 8th place, and maybe even more after that. It's going to be Christian Parry in 5th. It's going to be Dylan O'Donnell finishing in 6th place, then John Glover in 7th, Owain Phillips in 8th, Joe Pooler in 9th. It's going to be Ruben Haig down in 10th place. We missed some last lap drama with Ruben Haig there. In 11th place is going to be Christian Bizel. But what a race there. There's your top 10. And my, oh my, what a race. So what we'll do is we'll go and pop the points into the board, and we'll get that done just as soon as we get qualifying underway for number 2.
right.
Qualifying session underway then, qualifying session number 2, and let's go and have a little look at what they're up to. We'll jump in with that one and let you watch a couple of minutes qualifying. What we'll do during that is we'll actually get the numbers and the results from that last race inserted into the spreadsheet, and see if by magic we'll work out who has taken the qualifying and the heats for that first final race. So we'll be back with you in just a second.
Baby, I'm calling out. Save me. I'm going down. Take me to another town where I can rest my bones. I can rest my bones safely. Even when I'm together, I'm miles apart. Feel I'm running forever, get back to the start. I don't know if I'm broken or if I am just not trying. But we're feeling alive even when we're slowly dying. Shine a mirror on me. See my reflection, who am I really supposed to see? Who am I really supposed to see?
Qualifying is done and dusted for race number 2, and you know what else is done and dusted? Points for the first race of the evening. We'll quickly cut away to that. We see William Black, Ian Wilson, Tam Hamill, Jonathan Atkinson, Christian Parry, Dylan O'Donnell, John Glover, Owen Phillips, Joe Puller, Ruben Haig, Christian Bazell. There are more underneath. As I said, we'll get to them in just a second. But that is your standings after race 1, and that is for this race alone. That doesn't include last weekend at Knockhill. We will get those totals added up to you and with you very, very shortly. As I said, qualifying is done and dusted. Let's have a look then at your qualifiers. It is William Black back at the top there, making it look so comfortable. 147.699 from Ian Wilson. It's as you were at the top. Jonathan Atkinson as well with a 148.257. And then up at the top there as well, we saw King Chinny, Christian Bazell, with a fantastic lap to put himself up into 4th place there, and Owain Phillips down into 5th. Without further ado then, let's have a look at your final race of the evening for Xbox One. After this is going to be PCs. Here we go then, the cars are on the grid, the lights are coming on here at Ilton Park for the second time. Away we go, and it's a great start for William Black with Ian Wilson following up closely. You've got contact going on behind. The two cars just avoid taking each other off. I think that might have been Ruben Haig that was involved in that one there. I might have been wrong, so we'll hold off on judgment on that one. It looks like there's all hell breaking loose right now. That is Joe Puller that is involved in that one, along with, I think that might have been STR unknown Kieran Evans. And we see a car going very, very wide there. That is Stuart Haston, who is come a cropper at the entrance to Cascades. Now he has got about 4 seconds to do to catch up to that group. Your leader is still William Black with Ian Wilson hot on his heel. And look at Jonathan Atkinson. He's going to make up for lost ground on that last race. And they are taking Christian Bazell with them. Although he is kind of losing touch with that group of 3 cars there. Jonathan Atkinson gets the run on second place of Ian Wilson. It's not going to happen because Ian's going to have the inside line for his lops. He thinks better of it. Can he make a move though? It's going to be last of the late breakers in towards his lops there. And Ian Wilson now straight onto the back of your leader as they come round Knickerbrook for the first time of asking here in your second race. And the gap is yo-yoing back and forth because Ian Wilson 1 minute under attack from Jonathan Atkinson. The next is right onto the bootleg of your race leader, but William Black now with an inch of daylight in front of him and behind him, between him and second place of Ian Wilson. This is a brilliant start to your race number 2 for the Xbox One. Behind them for 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th, that is Joe Puller with that is, who was that up the inside there? That was Tam Hamill. Oh, and we see Joe Puller getting punted left, right and centre there. That was quite naughty from, let's have a look who that was there. That was just driving him along the road there. I think that might have been Ruben Haig again, getting caught up in all sorts of battles here. It is Ruben Haig because he's right beside Joe Puller there just now, and the two of them giving absolutely no inch or quarter. And Ruben Haig has gone. He's been smashed off the track there. We'll have to have a little look at the replay for that one, but I think that might have been a little bit of just desserts between him and Joe Puller. And this is the problem. This is where it gets a little bit of argy-bargy. And oh my goodness me! William Black is out. Your race leader is off at Shell Oil's corner. And that means that Christian Bazell goes into the lead. I have absolutely no idea how that one happens. But Aidan Wilson down in second place and Tam Hamill into third. So where has second place go? It was first place was William Black, then it was Ian Wilson, then in third place it was Jonathan Atkinson. So I wonder if there's been some sort of a huge accident that's taken your race leader out. William Black now down into 8th place, and he's round Knickerbrook. He's going to make that move stick, so he holds on to 8th place. But this is incredible scenes here right now. A very unlikely leader here from Christian Bazell, who is 3 seconds up the road. So something very, very dramatic has just unfolded here. as we see William Black trying desperately to make his way back up through that field. But my goodness me, high drama, and we're only on to lap number 2 here. Well, this is sensational stuff here, as we see Ian Wilson coming under big pressure from that group behind him. He's got Tam Hamill and Jonathan Atkinson breathing down his neck right now, and he is not making any dent to that gap in front of him. I think it is. I think what's happened is Ian Wilson, Jonathan Atkinson and your race leader William Black have come into some sort of contact there, as we see Jonathan Atkinson making a look on the outside of Island Bend there. Never will that work. Absolutely never will that work. But we see Ian Wilson then in second place. That gap come down by 0.3 of a second to Christian Bazell. Out there on his own in front right now, coming through Britain's. But this is a very intriguing race that is setting up. So many different permutations that are going on right now with regards to the championship. And we've seen the kind of pace that Christian Bazell can have. And that is William Black up into 7th place now. Just on the back of Joe Puller. And this is all going to be about a recovery drive and how quickly that William Black can plough his way through the field and make his way safely past them. He doesn't want any more incidents. He doesn't want to lose any further time between any cars if he can possibly avoid it. Look at the difference in the closing speed as they go down in towards Druid. Look at this though. Tam Hamill under all sorts of pressure from Jonathan Atkinson. They're down into Lodge Corner and they're going to come across the line to start lap number 4. A little flash of the lights there from Ian Wilson to let Christian Bazell know that he is coming and coming for him. Tam Hamill gets a pretty average exit from Old Hall Corner there. That allows Jonathan Atkinson to close right up on the entrance to Cascade. And this is now a game of 4D chess that's going on. Surely not. Surely not. Jonathan Atkinson side by side with Tam Hamill. They're catching up to Ian Wilson, who obviously has some sort of slowdown penalty on the inside. Wow! Tam Hamill hands the back end to that Renault Clio Cup car, but makes it work. They're down in Shell Oil's corner, and Jonathan Atkinson has a very poor exit from the corner, but they're right up to the back of Ian Wilson now. Tam Hamill looking to go left, then right, then left again. They have to slow down and order up back through Britain's, and that is going to be it for Tam Hamill. Oh, he's been defensively manoeuvred, we'll call it. Again, he's going to try and slip and then outbrake Jonathan Atkinson into the corner there. Jonathan Atkinson somehow just managed to throw that little Renault Clio into his lops there and managed to make it stick, and has made Tam Hamill look a bit silly because he made it look like he planned that all along. And we both know that wasn't the case whatsoever. Joe Puller down in 5th place, and look at that, William Black now is ahead of, that is DK Wasp, that is there John Glover. So who was about in front of William Black? It was Joe Puller, but Joe Puller had somebody in front of him as well, because William Black was down in 7th place. So we'll find out what's happened there, but it looks like Joe Puller got some sort of time penalty on that as well. Anyway, lap 5 is underway, your penultimate lap for race 2 of the Xbox, and it's late on the brakes there and a little bit of contact. Jonathan Atkinson has hold on to that position from Tam Hamill there, and Tam Hamill's going to have a look up the inside towards Cascade. It's never going to work because Jonathan Atkinson is going to have a nice smooth fast exit, but look at this. Tam Hamill is stalking, hunting his prey. Will not make this work around Island Bend, but may make it move around Shell Oil's corner. I think Jonathan Atkinson got a better line into that corner there. Tam Hamill though has a fantastic exit from that corner, moves over the inside and is blocked by Jonathan Atkinson, and that is very wise to do that. Tam Hamill is going to start getting very frustrated very quickly as he is trying to get past Jonathan Atkinson for second place there. Another flash of the lights there from Ian Wilson. The gap now down to 1.5 seconds between him and the race leader Christian Bazell. So that is coming down as well. That was up at 2.5 seconds. It's now down to 1.5 seconds. So 2 laps left to go. It's going to be 1 lap as the cars make their way over the line. They're down in towards Druid's corner for the penultimate time. But look at the pressure that Tam Hamill is applying all over the back of Jonathan Atkinson right now. And Jonathan Atkinson, you've got to say, soaking up like a sponge right now. They come out of out of Lodge Corner, down over Deer's Leap, and then across the line. But look at this, Tam Hamill in the tow. He's going to move one way and another. And I tell you what, Jonathan Atkinson is going to block too many times. Throws it in. They're almost side by side, and Tam Hamill has to break out of it. Oh, there's contact again. Oh my goodness me! Jonathan Atkinson rolls it on the exit of Hall Corner. Tam Hamill lives to tell the tale. There was huge contact there, but Jonathan Atkinson has destroyed any chance of finishing on the podium. Absolute desperation there. And wow. Tam Hamill then, maybe a very lucky boy, maybe a way to hold on to another podium for today. But your race leader, Christian Bazell, a very, very unlikely winner in this one. The gap now 1.2 seconds. He's through Britain's. He's just got another 5 corners to go. He's going to be down into the chicane very shortly for Hislops. And then over Knickerbrook, and Ian Wilson trying to get the mind games in just now. Throws the car in nice and early. And that gap now 1 second. The pressure building. 4 corners left to go. Can Christian Bazell hold on to win the final race for the Xbox One this week here in round 2? Through Druids for the final time. I think he's potentially done enough. The gap is still just 1 second. Tam Hamill is going to be delighted with that 3rd place if he can hold on to it though. Just 1 more corner to go for King Chinny 21. Christian Bazell down over Deer's Leap, and it's a win. Christian Bazell absolutely deserved that one. Incredibly unlikely. Aidan Wilson comes across the line. Tam Hamill finishes in 3rd place, but the real story of this race for me, William Black finishing in 4th place from that absolute disaster of a start where he got thrown all the way to the back and around about 10th on the grid, and then coming all the way back to 4th place. It could have been so much different for William Black, but it is a win nonetheless for Christian Bazell. Ian Wilson in 3rd place, 2nd place, and then Tam Hamill in 3rd place. There you go, guys. We'll take a very quick break. Congratulations to those guys, and when we come back we will have PC action from our final races of the evening. Drivers making their way in towards the holding lobby for our final race of the evening. And what a race we have got for you. Let's have a look at this then. We have got Craig Lax, we've got Lorenzo Ture, Ross McGregor, Johnny Knight, Owen Ross, James Fowler, John Munro, Peter Moore, Richard Crozier, Luke Kidsley, Craig Mays and Rory Drummond are in the final as well. We've got 10 cars in at the moment. We are waiting on another I would say another 2 cars. We've got 12 finalists that we are expecting tonight, and as soon as we get all of the drivers in tonight, we will get underway with our finals. So as I said, apologies, we're running about 5-10 minutes behind schedule tonight. It's went on a little bit longer at Oulton Park because of the qualifying, the technical problems. We've got most of that time back. So as I said, that is your finals lineup for tonight, the PCs. Expect some of the most dramatic action that we're going to see tonight, and that is no mean feat, seeing as some of the action that we saw earlier on. So we'll take one final pause, we'll get the drivers in, ready to go, and we will have our first heat of the finals for the PC up in just a second. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. As I said, if you want to get yourself involved, head over to smrc.co.uk and you can get yourself involved in that last race. We are at Brands Hatch, Indy, next week for the Ginettas, the Ginetta G55 GT4. And in the meantime, we'll be right back. Well, there's an exciting reason that I'm toning down the music, and of course that can only mean one thing. That means that the cars are out on track. Here we go then, with qualifying for final number 1 of the PCs. This is round 2 of the SMRC eSports Racing Championship, and let's get our overlay on the go. Love it. Right. What a race we have got in store, ladies and gentlemen. So many scores to settle. Let's have a look at where the points stand after last week. I love having a button dedicated to pausing my mic there. Anyway, right. Last week for round 1, as it stands, John Munro currently on 34 points, Lorenzo Turi currently on 33 points, Craig Lax joined on 33 points as well, Steve Quinn on 28, David Simon on 26, Kieran Smart on 26, Ross McGregor on 23, Mike Spalding on 22 points, and then on, let's have a look, Gary Craig on 16, and then Fraser Williamson on 7 points. That's how it stands at the moment, and what we'll do is, by the magic of technology, I can show you that. There we go. John Munro, Lorenzo Turi, Craig Lax, Steve Quinn, David Simon, Kieran Smart, Ross McGregor, Mike Spalding, and Gary Craig with Fraser Williamson in tow as well. Right, let's get rid of the music then, because we are into the tail end of qualifying. What we can also do is, because I can hear that there's no engine audio, we'll unplug that and get the in-game audio coming through, hopefully, the main speakers here. So I'll go and fix that just now. There we go, there's the music that we've really wanted in the background, and just in time as well then. We've got a minute and a half left to go for the qualifying session for the PC. This is the first of 2 qualifying sessions that we'll have tonight, and let's have a little look, as we said, at those points tables then. John Munro was just absolutely blazing with the speed, but I tell you what, it was fairly nip and tuck between him and Lord GT, Lorenzo Turi, holding him very, very honest as well. Craig Lax is one that you're going to want to have a look out for as well, the Nemesis 69. A lot of pace between those 3 cars, and anything can happen tonight. Steve Quinn is out there, I believe. Is he out there? I can't remember if he actually did qualify for this one. Let's have a little look. So we'll have a look at your qualifiers for that. No, Steve Quinn did qualify for the final here. So there we go. That is your current standings as it is. Let's go back to the action on track then. with just 5 seconds left to go, and it is already a storming pace. Lorenzo Turi currently on pole position from Craig Lax, 147.577 from a 147.948, and then in third place it is JK16, which is Johnny Knight. Fourth place is currently Peter Moore. We have got Wide Open Throttle 27, that is Owen Ross. Now, what has happened to John Munro? John Munro has not been able to put our fast lap in just now. I'm wondering what has happened there, because we've got Luke Kidsley in here, but we don't have a 12th car. Now, we did have a 12th car, and I'm wondering what has happened there. So, that's where it matters though just now, as we see Lorenzo Turi going across the line for the final time. Can he improve on his 147.577? Yes, he can. 147.482. What can Craig Lax do? Craig Lax is settled with a 147.948. JK16 comes across line 148.052. 147.895. So that means that Johnny Knight moves up into second place. But here comes John Munro, and John Munro jumps into second place right at the last gasp. 147.743. Oh my goodness me. I promised you an epic qualifying session, and my goodness me, have we delivered that. We've got 4 drivers within 5/10 of a second, and then it's a second back to Luke Kidsley in 5th place, Peter Moore in 6th place, and then all the way back to Rory Drummond in 11th. 11 cars on the grid then out of 12. Here we go. I am super excited for this, because this is going to be a mega race. The lights are on here at Ulton Park. The cars hold. Away we go. Race number 1 for the PCs. The finals are underway, and we've got cars stalled at the back of the grid. That is, let's have a look at who that is. That is Richard Crozier, who finally gets it off the line after stalling the car. A disastrous start. Have a look at that though. Lorenzo Turi leads John Munro from Johnny Knight, and then Craig Lax in 4th place. Luke Kidsley in 5th. And wow, this is all going to get very hairy over these next couple of laps. And look at that, Lorenzo Turi gets a slow down penalty already. That must have been through Cascades. Drops from 1st to 4th already. He has to hope that he avoids that gaggle of cars behind him and gets through into Shell Oil's corner. He's got the pace to keep on the back of that group, but this is going to be awesome stuff. Your leader then, John Munro, comes into Britain's for the first time of asking. A very tricky chicane to master, but gets through it absolutely fine. Well, this is proof in the pudding, if you want it, that you get some awesome racing on the PC. No incidents so far, no accidents, no calamities. I am touching my desk to make sure that I don't give it the commentator's curse, but look at that. Craig Lax is side by side as they come up through Nickerbley. It's always 3 wide. They're going to come down into Druids. Can Craig Lax take the lead? No, John Munro says no way. Closes the door on him. But yeah, Craig Lax makes a great move and jumps into second place from Johnny Knight there. Lorenzo Turi now back into the mix as well, and he's going to have to defend against 3 cars, and Lorenzo Turi is going to make the move into third place there. Lorenzo Turi and Johnny Knight side by side as they come across the line here. But lap number 2 gets underway, and it's John Munro from Craig Lax from Johnny Knight, and then it is Lorenzo Turi. But have a look at Luke Kidsley back in 5th place. Now, he wasn't on the same pace in terms of qualifying, but he is hanging with that group right now. Fantastic effort from Luke Kidsley there. But this is an awesome race here at Ulton Park. John Munro has got Craig Lax looking to the inside. They're side by side coming up to Island Bed. Is Craig Lax going to do it? I think John Munro will think better of it and try again later on. And it's a huge moment. John Munro just holds on to it. There's onto the grass. Oh, and contact as well. John Munro sent sideways on the entrance to Shell Oil's corner. Oh my goodness me. Well, That is not so good. Not so good from John Munro. It's so unfortunate. Drops him down into 7th place. He'll do a great recovery drive, but look at Craig Lax now. He has got Lorenzo Turi behind him, with Luke Kidsley now up into 3rd place. I would never have believed that, as we see Craig Lax throwing that car around within an inch of its life. Also, have a look at Peter Moore. Peter Moore up into 4th place as well here. 5th place then is going to be Ross McGregor. 6th place is Owen Ross. 7th place is going to be Johnny Knight, with John Munro in 8th place. And then it is, who's that? James Fowler down in 9th place. And then Richard Crozier in 10th, with Rory Drummond in 11th place. So we're away to start lap 3, and I need to take a deep breath here, because that was a wild 2 laps that we had opening up this first race for the PCs. And the pace, look at the pace from Craig Lax, 1:47.1, that is absolutely absurd pace. That's faster than his qualifying lap that he put in. So he is on it right now, throwing that car sideways. And you can see it. All 3 of your top 3 cars are under the 1:48 marker. And again, that is qualifying pace that they are on all race long. These are fast drivers. .7 of a second then, splitting up Craig Lax from Lorenzo Turi, from Luke Kidsley in 3rd place. Peter Moore has a slowdown or some sort of time penalty applied to him. You can see that with the red mark there, as we see Ross McGregor in 5th place. But let's have a look back to this battle here, as Owen Ross desperately trying to hold on to the 7th place from John Munro. It's not going to happen, because John Munro is getting forced out wide. They're going to come down into his laps here, and John Munro almost pulls side by side, tries to outbrake him and get the better run down into Knickerbrook, and Owen Ross making that car as wide as he possibly can. But look at that, JK16, Johnny Knight, is away from him. He's 3 seconds up the road and trying to chase that lead group down, and he has the pace to absolutely do it. Ross McGregor there in 5th as well. And it is anyone's game right now, because all it takes is an accident or a collision to see some sort of misfortune happen. We saw it in the last one with William Black, as John Munro tries to go round the outside of Lodge Corner there, gets the better exit there. He's right on the toe here of Owen Ross. If he's not careful, he's going to get done by James Fowler there as well. And John Munro dives to the inside. He's got the line done, and James Fowler comes a cropper at Old Hall Corner. He can't make it stick. John Munro then moves up into 7th place. Back with your leaders then. The gap now down to under 1 second, as Lorenzo Turi just 2/10 faster on that last lap round. Again, your leaders doing under 1:48. So was Johnny Knight that last time round in 6th place. So he's got the ability to charge up to that front group as well, but he's about 8 seconds behind your race leader. Just absolutely blistering pace from your race leader right now. He's got that gap back up to 1.2 seconds. And Craig Lax making it look so very comfortable in this first final heat. From Lorenzo Turi and Luke Kidsley in 3rd place there. Luke Kidsley, I'm absolutely delighted to see him on the podium for this. He's done such a fantastic job from qualifying 5th place and being very opportunistic to move up into 3rd place there. And it does look like Johnny Knight and John Munro are going to be relegated to mid-pack racing for the rest of this race, because we're with your leader just now, as Craig Lax out of Lodge Corner to start the penultimate lap, and we're already, ladies and gentlemen, on to lap number 5 for your second last race of the night here. This is the SMRC eSports Racing Spring Championship. You're watching live on Facebook Live and on YouTube. And this is setting itself up for a cracking finish, but I think Craig Lax has got this under control. One man who is definitely fighting for this though is Peter Moore, who is just ahead of Ross McGregor as they come out of Cascades. What is Ross going to be able to do with this? Because I don't know if he is going to be able to do anything. Out of Island Bend and into Shell Oil Corner. A puff of the brake there, and Ross McGregor thinks better of it. So a great little battle there as we see John Munro now just still ahead of Owen Ross. Now John Munro was trying to catch up with Johnny Knight. Oh, and Johnny Knight hits the chicane just as we cut to him. Johnny Knight into the chicane at Britain's, and the car stalls, and that is an absolutely disastrous moment for Johnny Knight. Drops all the way down to 10th place there. That puts John Munro crucially, it's all about the points now. It's all about those extra positions that the drivers can make themselves up. And that is going to be the difference between, say, 2 or 3 extra points for John Munro. Wow, incredible stuff. And of course John Munro currently in the lead of the championship with Lorenzo Turi by just 1 point. That is going to change because it's going to be Craig Lax, I believe, that is going to take the lead, and indeed it will be Craig Lax that takes the lead after this if it stands this way, because your race leader has just started the final lap. And again, the fastest lap of the race, 1:47.042. That is just stupid pace from Craig Lax. Absolutely stupid fast. I'm so thoroughly jealous. I struggled to get the Clio round in a 1:49. Never mind a 1:47 flat. And the thing is that the top 3 are just wringing the necks of these little cars. Stunning drive. So it's still Craig Lax then from Lorenzo Turi in second place, and Lorenzo has just unfortunately met his match today. They're joined in the championship, and this is going to give Craig Lax the upper hand. Luke Kidsley though is going to make significant progress up the championship order. Luke Kidsley wasn't even on the chart after last week, and he is definitely going to be now with a stunning 3rd place if he can hold on to it. And what we have to watch for is Peter Moore has got a time penalty here, which could mean that John Munro jumps up not 1 but 2 places as Ross McGregor eyeing up that spot as well. But let's have a look at your race leader. Let's concentrate on him. 1.5 seconds ahead of Lorenzo Turi. Round Druids for the final time. It's been an absolutely stellar performance from Craig Lax. Faultless from start to finish. Down into Lodge Corner then. And it's going to be race number 1 for Craig Lax. A fantastic victory. Lorenzo Turi finishes in 2nd place. Luke Kidsley 3rd place. Absolutely delighted with that one. Peter Moore drops down into 5th place as we see Ross McGregor taking 4th. Will it affect John Munro though? John Munro currently in 6th place. No, it doesn't. So John Munro finishes in 6th. It's going to be 7th place for Owen Ross, and then it is going to be Richard Crozier in 8th place. 9th place goes to James Fowler. 10th place goes to Johnny Knight, and Rory Drummond at the back of the field there. Wow. Absolutely wow. We need to take a very quick break to get our breath back. We'll save the replay and return to lobby, and when we come back we'll have more racing for you. So we are underway for qualifying then, qualifying number 2, and yeah, wow. I don't know what to say, I'm just struggling for breath after that one. Let's have a look at the points then after round number 1 then, and again, this is just after race 1. This doesn't take into account last week's race at Knock Hill. Let's have a look here then. So we've got Craig Laxton from Lorenzo Turi, Luke Kidsley, Ross McGregor, Peter Moore, John Munro, Owen Ross, Richard Crozier, James Fowler and Johnny Knight as well. And yeah, what an awesome race that was. Let's get back to the action then and take our deep breath, get ourselves on the go. We can get rid of the music. So I got a message from it was I think it was Blair McConaughey actually got in touch with us. Let's have a look here. Yep, Blair McConaughey wants a shout out for James Fowler, who is in the final just now. Let's go on board with James Fowler. There we go, Jimbo 40. He raced with Blair McConaughey in the 2019 Caterham Academy and came third in the championship. It was Blair that came second, and the championship winner Tom Willis are both watching and they are cheering him on. So good luck to James Fowler. James will be fairly happy with that. It was a solid finish, at least to that last race. 9th place, and hopefully he can improve on that for the next race. John Munro, straight back to the pace then, because we are in the middle of qualifying. 1:47.304. Track settings are the same, the conditions are the same, the cars are the same, the drivers are going to be very, very different after that first race, because yeah, there was a lot going on there, a lot going on. So just to remind you who we have in our final tonight, we have got Craig Lax, Lorenzo Turi, Ross McGregor, Johnny Knight, Owen Ross, James Fowler, John Munro, Peter Moore, Richard Crozier, Luke Kidsley, Craig Mays and Rory Drummond. 12 cars that we are supposed to have. Still can't see Craig Mays. He was having problems with the steering wheel. Let's hope he gets them sorted before we get racing underway. Let's have a look then. Who can do what? Because Lorenzo Turi is about to finish his lap just now. It's currently John Munro, 1:47.304, and that's a fast lap. That's a very, very fast lap in qualifying. Can anyone beat him? Can anyone have anything to answer for him? His closest competitor, Ross McGregor, 1:48.380, and then it's Luke Kidsley, 1:48.488. I really do think that these laps here are going to be some very, very fast ones, and we're going to see the order changing quite quickly. Here comes Lorenzo Turi up through Dearly. What can Lorenzo Turi do? Across the line, Lorenzo Turi goes second. John Munro still currently pole position. We've got 50 seconds as cars finish it, but these are the two that were in contention with him. So as it stands, John Munro on pole position from Lorenzo Turi, 0.4 of a second behind, and then it's Craig Lax who is about 0.06 of a second behind Lorenzo Turi. So it's Munro from Turi from Lax. That's your 1, 2, 3. Ross McGregor in 4th, Luke Kidsley in 5th. It's going to be Peter Moore in 6th place. 7th place is going to be Richard Crozier. It's going to be Owen Ross in 8th place, and we'll not kick Owen Ross, that's a shame. James Fowler in 9th, and then it is Johnny Knight in 10th, and then Rory Drummond in 11th place. 11 cars on the grid then, led down by John Munro for the final time tonight. This is the final visit to Oulton Park, ladies and gentlemen. The lights are on. Away we go, and it's a great start from John Munro. He gets the jump, and a fantastic start from Ross McGregor in 4th place as well. But it's as you were as they come down in towards turn 1. And there's a bit of a challenge there. Luke Kidsley looks to have lost a place to Ross McGregor. So John Munro leads the cars down as we see Lorenzo Turi looking very, very aggressive down in the Cascades for the first time of asking. Craig Lax still in 3rd place, and all of the cars looking very, very clean. They've got through the first section unscathed. Can they make it through Shell Oil's corner? This is what you like to see. All 11 cars split by just 3 seconds on this first part of the lap. anything can happen right now. Down in towards Britain's then. And that gap is 4/10 of a second. Lorenzo Turi sticking with John Munro and keeping him very, very honest. Craig Lax in third place, and behind him Ross McGregor trying to look very frightening indeed. They're all down into his lops. And this is great, great action here. We haven't seen a single mistake from any of these cars. John Munro down in towards Druids, and look at Lorenzo Turi. He's so much faster there. 2/10 of a second now behind your race leader, and John Munro is used to having all sorts of pressure. Races in the MX5s down in England, and Lorenzo Turi trying to make a move to the outside. Thinks a bit better of it. John Munro takes the defensive line. Lorenzo Turi being made to work for it. Has to give him room, and John Munro will give him room. Lorenzo Turi dives to the inside there, and they're side by side out Hall corner, and it's 3 wide as they come down towards Cascades. Craig Lax in the mix as well. Craig Lax round the outside of Cascades. Surely not. Surely he cannot make this work. John Munro and Craig Lax side by side as they come out of Cascades. They're going to be coming up towards Island Bend, and this is where it all went wrong. It's 2 by 2. John Munro jumps back into the lead. That was absolutely heart-stopping stuff there from the PC finals there. Craig Lax locks up the brakes there. There's a little bit of a love tap, and Craig Lax tries to jump up the inside. They're down in towards Britain's then, and John Munro is under so much pressure right now, but he's holding on to it. Lorenzo Turi now back into third place after that hell of a brave move there from Craig Lax round the outside of Cascades. I'm still trying to get my head around how he even managed to make that work. They're down in towards Knickerbrook then. Lap number 2 of 6 in your final PC heat. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching, I hope you're enjoying this. This is what I promised you. This was going to be a spectacular race, and this is exactly what we've got as we see 2 cars duking it out for the lead. 2, 3, 4 are the fastest sim racers you will see on the PC here right now. John Munro leading Craig Lax, who's trying everything but the kitchen sink to try and get behind him. Has to duck away, and he's going to come under pressure now from Lorenzo Turi as well. It's a big side swipe there from Craig Lax in second place. That allows John Munro a little bit of breathing room, but not all that much. Look at Lorenzo Turi. Thinks about it on the inside. Has to pull back and make that move stick another time. Craig Lax is going to try again, surely not around the outside of Cascades. They're side by side again. John Munro on the entrance again. Look at the speed that Craig Lax takes into Cascades. I think he might have it because he's got the inside line for Island Bend, and also behind him Lorenzo Turi and Ross McGregor side by side again. 2 by 2, and John Munro makes it stick, and look at that. That is going to be Ross McGregor. Excuse me, that's Lorenzo Turi who goes off at Island Bend. Keeps the foot in and just keeps it held in. Lorenzo Turi drops all the way down. Does he rejoin? He does. But Lorenzo Turi drops out of contention with this lead group. He's now 7 seconds behind, and I know he's fast, but I don't think he's got the pace to keep on with this. Lap 3 out of 6, and I do apologise that we're not having a look further back. We'll take a very brief foray into the mid-pack here. In 5th place you have got Peter Moore. 6th place you've got James Fowler. 7th place you've got Owen Ross, caught up by Lorenzo Turi, trying desperately to make his way back here. But have a look at this. John Munro is under pressure again. 1/10 of a second, and there goes Craig Lax one way then the other, tries to make it stick on the inside, and John Munro just knows how to place that Renault Clio in such a brilliant defensive line to make Craig Lax go all the way around. Blocks the apex in such a way that Craig Lax can't do it, but surely now they're side by side, and this is going to mean that Ross McGregor comes into contention as well. John Munro tries to make the inside line stick. He does. He managed to hold on to second place. Ross McGregor can't do it, but your new race leader on lap 4 out of 6 after all that hard work. Craig Lax then into the lead. John Munro trying to hold off that second place charge from Ross McGregor. Can he get right onto the back of Craig Lax again? Because Craig Lax has been shown blistering pace all through this session tonight. John Munro gets a much better exit out of Shell Oil's corner there. And again, that gap now starting to come down a little bit, but it's all about the entrance into Britain's here. What can John Munro do? He's got Ross McGregor on his tail as well. And there's that gap now starting to stretch out. 0.5 of a second. 0.2 on one corner alone. Ross McGregor is half a second behind him as well. So it's all very evenly spaced out. As we have a little look back to this battle for 6th, 7th and 8th, that is James Fowler just ahead of Lorenzo Turi, ahead of Owen Ross. Owen Ross dropping now down to 8th place. And 9th place is going to be Richard Crozier, who has been in the battle. So has Rory Drummond, as we see Johnny Knight as well. What's left of his car making its way around as well, as we see John Munro throwing everything that he can to try and stay in that lead battle, but that slows him down, and that's going to bring Ross McGregor into the mix as well. And we're going to start our penultimate lap here. Craig Lax leads his first lap of this second race. In towards Cascades, and that gap is now almost a second because John Munro is very much preoccupied as it were, with that battle now for Ross McGregor just behind him. They're coming up in Island Bend for the final time. Ross McGregor needs to do something more, because John Munro now trying to pull up back to your race leader. 0.8 of a second is the gap right now. As we see Peter Moore getting some sort of time penalty on his race there. That's going to mean that James Fowler can potentially move up into 5th place there if Lorenzo Turi doesn't bother him too much. But staying with your race leader on lap 5 out of 6, in towards Hislop, and he's making it look so comfortable right now. Craig Lax from John Munro and Ross McGregor. It's then Luke Kidsley up into 4th place, Peter Moore in 5th, with James Fowler in 6th place and Lorenzo Turi in 7th. Let's stay with this battle just now and see what Lorenzo Turi can potentially do. Gets an excellent run out of Druids there. And he's going to have done him into Lodge Corner then. He's going to have the inside line. There's contact there. Oh, and this is very brisk defence there from James Fowler. And they're side by side, but very respectful driving. Lorenzo Turi is going to have the inside line. He thinks better of it. And James Fowler actually still has that 6th position. Brilliant stuff. Right. Back to your race leader then, because we're on our final lap of the final race this evening here for the SMRC eSports Racing Championship. This was round 2 here at Oulton Park. We've enjoyed 6 absolutely stunning races, and it is currently Craig Lax from John Munro and Ross McGregor. Looks like that is potentially how that is going to hold out. As we see Craig Lax through Hislop's round Knickerbrook, and we've just got 2 more corners to go then. On the run down towards Druids. 1 more corner after this. It's on the brakes in towards Lodge Corner. It's going to be 2 wins out of 2 for Craig Lax. The Nemesis 69 makes it a clean sweep here at Ulton. It's a full 50 points from the race weekend. John Munro in... Hang on a second. Ladies and gentlemen, John Munro takes the win because it's saying here that Craig Lax has got a time penalty. Now that must have just been on that final lap there. Craig Lax has got some sort of a time penalty and puts him in second place. My goodness me! So at the moment, we'll wait to see the final scoring board there, but it's John Munro from Craig Lax. It was a 2-second penalty. So absolute heartbreak for Craig Lax on that final lap, getting a 2-second penalty, drops him behind your race winner after that, John Munro. Third place for Ross McGregor. Luke Kidsley in 4th place. It's Peter Moore in 5th, Richard Crozier in 6th, James Fowler in 7th place. 8th place goes to Lorenzo Turi. 9th place to Owen Ross. 9th place to Owen Ross. 10th place to Rory Drummond. And then did finish just at 11th place was Johnny Knight. Wow, my goodness me. What on earth happened there? Right, so there you go, ladies and gentlemen. A race win for John Munro. And that does his championship hopes a big, big boost. We'll go and have a little add up of the scores. We'll take a very, very quick break. And we'll be back for the final time to give you tonight's final points for this week here at Ulton Park. Join us in just a second and we'll be right back. Confirmation of tonight's points then. Craig Lax finishes the night with 45 points. Remember, these are just for this round, not including Knockhill. We will announce the full total standings either today or tomorrow on Facebook. Craig Lax then leaves with 45 points. John Munro adds 35. Luke Kidsley with 30. Ross McGregor adds 30. Lorenzo Turi, after having such a strong Knockhill weekend, leaves with only 28 points. Peter Moore with 24. Richard Crozier with 18. Owen Ross with 16, alongside with James Fowler on 16. Johnny Knight and Rory Drummond on 11 with 11 points as well. So, as we said, we'll get them added on. Now, I did promise you a very special announcement, and I can announce that next week at Brands Hatch, and we'll pop this on the social media channels as well, we will be doing something a little bit different for Brands Hatch. It is indeed Brands Hatch Indy. It is indeed the Ginetta G55 GT4, I believe. But the difference is the time of day changes. So the day will be the 19th of April in-game, but the time will be at 7 PM, which gives us a beautiful sunset race for the heats next week at Brands Hatch. Join us then. We'll be here on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Tuesday for the PlayStation 4, Wednesday for the Xbox One, and then Thursday for the PC, with the finals happening next Sunday. As I said, if you want to get yourself involved, ladies and gentlemen, smrc.co.uk, and get yourself signed up for our final race in Spa. Entries will open up Tuesday night for your final race in Spa using the Porsche GT3 endurance cars, and that is going to be an amazing race. We're still working out a format for that. We want to give you all a very special experience for that last one, so that should give you a big clue as to what to expect. In the meantime, I've been David Christie on behalf of Camber Media. Thank you very much for watching the finals for round 2 of the SMRC eSports Racing Spring Championship. Remember to like us on Facebook and subscribe to us on YouTube. We will be back on Tuesday with round number 3 at Brands Hatch. Until then, I'm David Christie, signing out. Have a wonderful night and take care of yourselves.